Monsters, Inc. will always be my favorite movie from Pixar, alongside Cars and Wall-E. Everything about it is good. The characters were quite funny, the soundtrack was awesome, and the emotional bits. But now, my good memories of this film are ruined because of one single DVD. It was a beautiful day, and I was just on my notebook I got for my birthday, drawing some pictures. A few seconds later, I heard a ring at the doorbell. I looked through the door, but nobody was out there. So I slowly opened it. I saw a package in the blue mat. I brought it in and opened it. To my surprise, it was my childhood favorite Pixar film on DVD, Monsters Incorporated. But not just any DVD, but the 2002 disc collector's edition. I already had it, but something was off on it. The logo in the front had a red thing instead of a blue one. Mike had no eye and he was drooling and crying blood. Whose silhouette had black eyes along with blood in the door, and Sully had red eyes and fangs. I got suspicious about this DVD. I looked on the back cover. The THX certified print logo in the back cover was also written in red. Along with Randall having red eyes, and Ross having blood stains on her. I decided to watch it to find any differences in this DVD. I decided to watch it because it was my childhood film. I plugged in the DVD player accessory and put disc, but sure, the FBI warnings came up, but the background was red instead of blue. The menu screen was also different. The music was kind of distorted, and the music was just a piano version of it with a piano chord and Sully's roar. I soon took notice of those differences, but just shrugged them off. Then I pressed play. Boy, would I really want to take that back. The THX Texas 2 Mucan trailer played, but it was way off. The THX logo appeared in a dark background, as usual. There was about 10 seconds of silence until the THX mascot, Texas, dropped down to the ground so fast I almost fell off the couch. He looked at the camera and pulled out the Mucan, but it was red, and it had Sully's face on it. Texas gave the Mucan a small shake, but there was no moo sound. He pressed the button in his chest activating the jetpack on his back and flew to the X and took out the cord like normal, but it looked burnt. He plugged it in the Mucan and gave it a small shake again. But instead of moo sounds like in the actual trailer, there were sounds of Sully roaring. The sounds were so loud Texas dropped the Mucan, covered but it was not quite enough, and his head was thrown into a pile of floor, the THX logo falling into pieces. Then it faded into a black screen, with a text saying, "The best sound, the best picture, you're re-watching a THX certified feature." Instead the THX slogan, "The audience is listening," and the text was shattered. I was shocked from what I just watched. The Walt Disney Pictures logo played, but it was a crimson red, and the audio had a demonic tint added. And the usual intro played, but with the music going distorted, and the background was a bunch of old, broken doors. The film began as per usual, that is, until the rest played like normal. There were some parts of the film where the DVD would stop and goes to the next scene. But this is where things get really disturbing. During the part where Sully does his big loud roar, Randall approached Waternoose and told him he has the child with him. Waternoose, clearly upset, goes towards Sully and says something in a demonic tone.
"Sully, how could you let down an entire company?"
Before a blood-red door appeared.
"Ha sir, that's not her door,"
Mike stated. Waternoose said his usual lines and walked towards the door, revealing it to be hell.
"It's yours,"
Waternoose said, as he shoved both Mike and Sully into hell. And what happened next was the most horrific. Mike and Sully screamed as they were being burned, with their voice actors screaming in anguish. Soon, their burnt corpses fell to the ground, dead. The end credits, if I didn't have you played, but distorted. And the DVD ended there. I didn't want to watch this too, because I didn't want to see what was on that DVD as well. I was shocked at what I saw. I decided to email Pixar Animation Studios about the film. Here's their reply.
To XXX from Pixar Animation. Subject, Monsters Inc. film. We're sorry about that. We would never ever and ever make anything that graphic in a kid's film. Well, a film tampering issue is to blame. Before the final batch, someone named James Boeing snuck in and made this alternate version, so sorry about that. Don't worry.
Well, I chuckled at the jump along part. But one thing never would leave me. Why would someone do this?